but most client transactions are between financial institutions. You can rate yourself if you want, but the Excel code is gonna ignore. And I'm not, I mean, if you wanna rate yourself, it's fine. And if you guys want, I can allow that. Then if you rate yourselves too much, you pay that out of your own pocket. Up to you. Doesn't matter to me. And the purpose of this is not to stress you. That's why I keep stressing that it is not important per se that whether or not the answer to be paid is correct. It's not an exam or a test. You're thinking about, you're trying to see how you're thinking about. As you read it, if you even have any idea what we're talking about. What are you contributing to the class? Maybe they didn't know anything about it, thanks to you. Now they will know. Of course, regardless of your answer, I'm going to expand on those. But my job is basically, if you give a perfect answer that's results a 7, isn't too much I can add to it. I'll just say kudos, give me a fist bump, and you'll leave it at that because you already said whatever that needs to be said. But if there are little holes here and there, I'm gonna come in and that's my function during these discussions. To add those, maybe if there is anything relevant, not necessarily directly related to that question, I can add those as well. For example, the discussion about bond market was not relevant to the question, but just wanted to highlight that this distinction is not limited to stocks. It's not just IPOs that are in the climate. Anytime the issue of a new security, whether it's bonds, stocks, options, or whatever, is the seller and public is the buyer, that's a primary market transaction. The rest are secondary. I mean, the book also goes through something called third and fourth markets. That's too much of a distinction. I mean, you can read about it. Third market are transactions that people do amongst themselves outside of an exchange. Fourth is a little bit even more than that, but I think there's just being too selective about stuff. So I would give 6 to Ethan. There wasn't much anything left. Had he volunteered about information about the bond market, for example, I wouldn't make any mistake. That's kind of, there's no science to this, somewhat of an art form. That's why I leave some differential between your evaluation and mine. All right, let's pick another individual. Aiden, where art thou? Oh, okay. He's hired. Okay, tell me the difference, if you know, or what you think is the difference between investment bankers and investment company. It's okay if you have no idea. It's fine. That means you haven't read the chapter and stuff. Because if you had, you would have had somehow. All right. That's one of the reasons I'm doing that glossary thing. In fact, those glossary are going to be available before anything else, so that you can use those. Okay. Not that I'm going to count it today, but just for the habit of it, please rate Aiden. I'm going to give him a not much for this. It's not going to count for today, but just for the hell of it. Let's pick somebody else. Ty, where are you? Ty Jones? Okay. Now, this is a good opportunity. You guys are not going to rate him, of course, but I'm going to rate him as absent. Oh, he is fine. Okay. You can run, but you cannot hide. You may not have been here when we had the discussion. We asked Aiden, what do you think of the difference between an investment banker and an investment company? And just like Aiden, if you have no idea, that's okay. There's nothing to be embarrassed. Look at a lot of things, hey, I'm old, but there are people who are not that close.
Like investment bankers been having prospects, be their own independent corporate or investment company.
You're basically trying to come up with the answer. And okay, let's give Ty a bad rating. Today doesn't count, so I mean I'm gonna give a bad rating, so it's like 65%. At least you tried, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna ask for a volunteer to give it answer. Karina? I mean, it's okay if you don't know. Hmm? Oh, so let's give you a bad as well. You volunteered. Again, once I take care of that thing, this is gonna be a lot more seamless. Okay, some other, Clay?
So for an investment banker, I think of that as someone who's kind of like a financial advisor at a bank managing other people's income. When I think of it as a company, they're managing their own liquidity and money, trying to build the company's growth.
You better warn, but not just hot. So let's give you a good rating. Uh, Here's the main difference. I'm not gonna ask too many volunteers. Investment bankers are companies like Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, which is investment banking arm of Bank of America these days. It used to be one of the tigers of the investment banking before they went belly up back in 2008. They were sold to Bank of America for $2 a share. And that is because Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson insisted it should be $2. Before crash, Merrill Lynch shares were trading close to $500 a share. We'll go into that sort of stuff when we're talking about especially fixed income derivatives. Uh, Investment bankers are in the business of either trading for their own accounts, proprietary trading, since a lot of people can say that's known as prop trading, okay? Or advising their clients in all sorts of financial matters. Whenever a company wants to go IPO, they hire an investment banker, pay to advise them, you know, what's gonna be the proper price. Can we sell these stocks? How many we can sell? And also organize the whole so-called syndicate. These are called banking services or corporate finance services. Or sometimes you want to, on Google, I want to acquire, let's say, NVIDIA. Or vice versa these days. I actually hire an investment banker because as, let's say I'm NVIDIA, I want to buy Google. As NVIDIA people, my expertise is not in financial analysis. My expertise in designing AI chips, right? So I hire these people, let's say I have Goldman, they do all the due diligence, legal work behind it, and they come up with a number. They say, okay, we should pay $2.5 billion. Then they go through all the discussions with the people, execute. These are all investment banking services. On the other hand, an investment company is actually a name given to a pool of people that are getting together and investing their money. For example, mutual funds. A mutual fund is an investment company. You and I are too small in money. So we each have $1,000, but we decide to get together. There are 1,000 employees, so, right? 1,000 we put them all together, those $1,000 become $1 million, and we become an investment company. We hire a manager to manage our portfolio for us. How much we pay that, and whether or not we pay that person, those are besides the points. The company that is managing the fund is not the investment company. For example, let's say you went ahead and bought Fidelity Investments, aggressive growth fund. Okay? It's a fund that tries to invest into mostly high-tech kind of stuff. Could be biotech, could be general tech, other tech, I don't know. The only thing Fidelity does, it kind of starts the company with a little bit of their money and solicits money from the general public to be part of this. It's as if you're selling shares in the company. But once they've done that, Fidelity is just the manager. Fidelity is not the investment. Fidelity is actually an investment banker because they manage the money. The investment bankers manage investment companies. You think of this. That's the main distinction between the two. The reason I kind of started with these, I want you guys kind of be in the habit of knowing the definition of something, even of itself, doesn't mean anything. Why? Because you can always look up the definition. But how do you analyze, differentiate between somewhat closer concepts? That's where knowledge is. The other one is just information. I can look up the definitions, especially in this day and age. All you have to do is say, hey Siri or hey Alexa. You don't even have to type it. But that doesn't mean that you actually have knowledge